Hey everybody, welcome to episode 6 of Movie Chataway with Ryan Chataway. Yeah, I was just looking at my first season of Eastbound and Down and I was just laughing, so I figured it'd be funny to open up this live stream with Danny McBride's face. Great show. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. Right now, I am going to do my usual that by sharing the links on Facebook and joining in on the live chat. So make sure you go to geeky.com. If you're watching this through YouTube or even Google, just go to geeky.com and watch it through there, because you could watch it through there and then join in on the live chat. So let me put in my name. I hope everybody's doing good. I know I am. Let's see. All right. I am now in the live chat. And so if you guys have any questions or anything like that, you just head on over there, and I will answer what I can. Tonight was going to be more of a hangout with a bunch of people, but I think we're going to do that next week because I work all this week. So next week I'll be able to stay up as late as I want, and well, I mean, I could stay up as late as I want any night, but I got to be responsible about it. So yeah, so I'm gonna give people a couple minutes to get into the chat and the live stream. So just give me a second, and while you are waiting with me for a couple seconds. Be sure you check out geeky.com if you're not familiar with it. Basically, it's just a site where a bunch of us nerds and geeks come together about stuff that we're passionate about. And you could do it on a lot of other different websites, but you kind of have to filter what you say. And this, you can just let your passions run like crazy. So if you're interested in doing a live show, if you're interested in just branching out and doing something creative on your spare time, whether it's writing or even doing a live stream here or there, go to the contact section on geeky.com and get in touch with some of the guys there, and they will be able to help you out. We want people to join us. We want to jump on board to this, TV is now on the internet boat. And so if you're interested in joining geeky.com and providing content that you're passionate about, not that you think that we're going to be, but stuff that you're passionate about. See, like, I'm passionate about movies and just sitting in front of a camera and talking nonsense for an hour. I love doing that. And so you could even do that if you want. And so also we got a cool gift shop that down here you get some shirts or whatever just to support us. And also, if you like to donate money to causes, definitely press the donate button and help us keep the website running. So be sure you check out all those links. The gift shop's pretty cool. I was actually just looking at it again, and Skin Slip has some awesome shirts that he's put up in there, and it's just a cool thing to have. I mean, I've never been a part of a site that actually, you could get apparel or anything like that. So let me head back over to the chat. Okay. So today we're going to kind of cover a few different things. I was going to do my Star Wars thing today, but I decided not to because I'm thinking about doing that when I have people on one time, till we could get kind of in a debate, because I know not everybody likes the same Star Wars films that I do, or we have different opinions. I think it'd be a lot more interesting and a lot more fun if we all get into a debate on air. Maybe even an argument. Who knows? I think it'd be fun to do that on air. Yeah. All right. I gotta always have a drink near me. So today, what I was gonna talk about is just a few different topics. First off, I want to share with you guys my overview of my YouTube schedule. Now, lately, I haven't really been consistent with putting content up, and I really, really want to. So what I started doing is pre-filming a bunch of stuff, and basically I have 3 series that I have in stone that I film ahead of time, not including this one. And so on Mondays, between 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 12, usually you'll find out the day of or the day before what time I'm going to do this, but I'm always going to have an episode of Movie Chataway live. And if I don't, it's because I'm having internet issues or something like that. They're building a brand new housing development across the street from where I live. Not across the street, but outside of the development where I live in now. And the cable has been really iffy because they keep tearing up cable lines to try to make cable lines and stuff, so it's been really annoying. So basically every Monday night I'll have a new episode of this. And every Wednesday I'm doing a series that I have pre-filmed. A lot of the episodes pre-filmed for a while, and it's great films of the 70s. So I'm basically going to be talking about films that I love from the 70s that I think are, some films are very, very mainstream and well-known. Other films that I've picked out are films that people may have heard of, but they haven't really, it's not really thought about or talked about a lot, and I think they should be. So that's every Wednesday. And then every Friday is something I've been doing for about 2 years now. In reality, my favorite series has been the longest series that I've had on my YouTube channel. I started it my first month in January of 2011 on YouTube. So that kind of morphed into, it was Ryan's favorites, and then it's morphed into top 5 Mondays, and now it is just morphed into, on a Friday, top 5 favorites. I guess you could say technically it'd be my 3rd season of that show. Basically, it's just top 5s of a bunch of different stuff, whether it's in top 5 TV shows, top 5 horror movies, top 5 Bob Saget moments. I mean, I'm just trying to think of random stuff. Top 5 movie farts, just whatever I feel like talking about. It'll be my top 5 favorites of whatever. And so that'll be every Friday. Every weekend, I'm doing something that I was inspired to do by my friend Joe on here, and that's Filmo here on YouTube, 99 Filmo. He is a great YouTuber. He really knows how to analyze film, look at film, describe film. I highly recommend you check him out. So I'm giving him a shout out for you guys to go check out his channel. It's 99 Filmo. Just an awesome guy, and he really knows his stuff in regards to film. And he does these things, these different series called Director Series, where he does the entire director's filmography, video by video. He just goes over all the films of this director, whatever one he's talking about during that season of episodes. So I decided I was going to start doing that on the weekends. And so every weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, depending on how busy I am, I'll be uploading my director series. My first series is on Stanley Kubrick, who for a very long time was my #1 favorite director. He is definitely in my top 3 now. It's pretty much always balances between Hitchcock, Scorsese, and Kubrick. Those are pretty much my top 3 filmmakers. Woody Allen is also in my top 4, I guess you could say. So yeah, and so I'm doing Stanley Kubrick. I've already actually uploaded one video. I did one this past Wednesday of great films of the 70s. I did The Conversation, the Francis Ford Coppola masterpiece. And then on Friday, I did a top 5 David Lynch films. So that's up. And I also did my first episode of the Stanley Kubrick Director Series. And in that video, I cover his documentary shorts, The Killing, or Killer's Kiss, The Killing, Past the Glory, and I think that's as far as I got in that. Then after that, every episode is going to be on each of his films. I've analyzed his movie to death, and I'm really excited about continuing with this. And basically, when I'm done with the Stanley Kubrick Director Series, because I have a lot of that pre-filmed already, I'm just going to start a new director. I'm thinking about doing David Fincher next. I'm really into David Fincher again right now, so I'm thinking about doing his films next in my director series. So basically, the director series are going to be on the weekends for a long time. Every Friday is going to be favorites. Every Wednesday is going to be great films of the 70s. Who knows? After doing it for a year, I might start doing great films of the 80s, great films of the 60s. The 70s is my favorite period of film, my favorite era of film to watch. Just revolutionary in film today and how we look at film today. And I just always loved it. And I figured out of the thousands of movies released in the 70s, surely I could talk about one of those every week. Come on. So I'm going to do that. So, and of course, my Blu-ray DVD updates, other vlogs out and about, and they will appear periodically. They'll just be uploaded whenever. And of course, that's at my YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/user/rchadow87. So now that I've done that, I'm like really trying to get my schedule out there because I want people to know that I'm like really serious about always being on time and being consistent with my videos. And so far, it's been awesome. So thank you for all your support. I've had a lot of people on Facebook already support me and help me out with that. And so I'm really excited for the future of my channel because I've been on for 3.5 years, and I feel like I'm now in another one of those time periods where I'm branching out. I'm actually in the process of saving up for a microphone from the Blue Microphone Company who does like the Yeti and stuff. So I'm saving up for a mic. I'm going to start trying to do some podcasts, but either way, I'm starting out with these few select series first, and I'm really excited about it. So check out my channel, check out the schedule, like me on Facebook. I have a Facebook fan page. So yeah. So I guess the next thing I was just going to talk about now is kind of like a mini Blu-ray update. Bought quite a few things lately, but there's really only a couple things I really want to talk about in regards to things that I bought. The first thing is picked up the Toho Godzilla Collection Blu-ray of Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah and Godzilla and Mothra, the Battle for Earth. I don't use digital copies at all. I do not use them at all. I've already given away my digital copy for this. I was going to give it away on here, but I gave it away to one of my friends that's just starting to get more into Godzilla films. So yeah, basically this is the Blu-ray set. These movies look spectacular on Blu-ray. I highly recommend you pick them up. How can you go wrong with Godzilla movies in general? So basically, I've seen these films a lot, but for some reason, this one, Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, I have such a new appreciation for that film to where it's one of my favorite Godzilla films now. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I might end up doing a Godzilla series once they release everything on Blu-ray or just in general when I get my other copies of some of the ones that are out of print. But yeah, I'll talk more. I'm sure we'll talk more about that in a future video because I like talking about Godzilla with a group of people because we all have different passions for it, especially the geeky crowd that we usually do videos together with. And so yeah, I highly recommend you pick this up. I think I got it for like $12 at Walmart, and I'm sure you can get it cheaper now on Amazon, used through a seller, a third-party seller. So I highly recommend it. Picture quality and everything looks great. So definitely make sure you pick that up. And I'm like starting to really become a huge, like I've always loved the Heisei series, but they are just a great era of Godzilla films. I love all the Godzilla movies except for Godzilla '98, but lately I've been watching a lot of the Heisei ones, and they are really, really good. Like, they are really good. So I'm excited to. I think I only need 2 more to complete the Heisei series, and that is Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2 and Godzilla 85, or Return of Godzilla from 1984. So, and that's not in print at all. So I was going to get it from a bootleg site, but then I started thinking I might just wait. I'm probably just going to buy a VHS of Godzilla in 1985 and just have that in my collection just to kind of have it completed. But it's just awesome. I think the series got really kind of goofy, which I loved. But the Heisei movies really brought back the same spirit of the original series, and it was serious, but then it's still light at the same time. And the thing I love about this film is the fact that they go back in time and actually see Godzilla before he's messed up by all the atomic bombs, and he's like pre-Godzilla, and he's just like a regular dinosaur, and it's a really creative, awesome story. And that's one of the things I always knew about that with this film, and I've always seen it. But watching the Japanese audio and stuff, I just have such a new love for some of these films. And I just really hope that they get the right stuff situated to where they could finally get, the 1984-85 Godzilla released, an official release, because I think that'd be really, really awesome. So definitely get this thing that I picked up. As I said, I'm going through another huge David Fincher phase, and I've really been a fan of David Fincher since I was young, and I first saw Seven on TV for the first time. It was right after it came out in theaters, it came out on home video. Then I saw it on HBO. Of course, I wasn't allowed to, but I did, and I was blown the hell away. And I was just like, man, this guy knows how to, have a film movies. And so since then, I've just loved every single thing that David Fincher's done. Seven, Fight Club, even Panic Room, even though it's more of a mainstream film for him, that was fun. Zodiac, I think, is one of the most underrated films of the last 20 years. I love it. Only David Fincher could take a movie about basically Facebook and make it into a a really awesome human story about it's hard to explain. I'm really tired, but you get what I'm saying. It wasn't just a normal docudrama type thing. It was drama, and it had conflict within the characters and the relationships, and it was just brilliant. The Social Network, that's what I'm referring to. Curious Case of Benjamin Button, that's a brilliant film. And the one I picked up is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Usually I avoid, the reason why I held off on watching this film for so long is because I try to stay away. I try not to watch stuff. It's hard for me to watch stuff that deals with, really any kind of sexual abuse. I just don't like it. But I really, 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 really wanted to read the book and see the film and see some of the other films in the series. And I'm really glad I did. And so I first saw the Swedish version, and I liked it a lot. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and buy this version, David Fincher's version, from Target. I think it was, let me think. I think it was $10 on sale. And so I definitely picked this up, and I watched it for the first time, this version for the first time last night. And I have to agree with Ben Christian here on the in the chat. I think this is his best, David Fincher's best film. Visually, the way he tells the story, I know it's based off the book, but this, as much as I love Seven and Fight Club and how those films just draw me in, this film brought me and my emotions to places I did not think a film could bring me. The mystery, the fact that you're dealing with two characters. One is a it's just a tragic character, somebody who's been abused and just rejected by society, and how she's still brilliant. And you see her kind of break through her shell with another character, played by Daniel Craig. And I know that the relationship changes throughout the books and the rest of the two stories in the two other movies, in the Swedish series, but it's just it was such an awesome experience watching this film. And it doesn't mean that it was always a positive. Because it has some very disturbing scenes in this film. It probably has one of the most graphic rape scenes I've ever seen in a film. And but the thing is that she's such a strong character that it really, to be honest with you, there's always films that show women being beaten or raped or any of that kind of stuff, and it's almost like glorifying it, like it's cool. And not all films do that, but some films do. Like they think it's funny, especially with teen comedies and stuff like that. But it is not at all. It is a disgusting, disturbing thing, and I love that this film shows that, how disgusting and disturbing it is, and it has the woman coming out on top. She was strong. She did what she had to do to get through it. And I love that. I just love that because it actually has some redeeming qualities. And it's just awesome. It's just such a kick-ass movie. David Fincher is the man. Trent Reznor with the score is awesome. And visually, it's just a masterpiece. It is incredible. And this edition, this Blu-ray edition, is pretty awesome. For $10, you get that awesome cover. Let me switch it to where I can look at myself so I can show you. You get that awesome cover. Then you could open it up. And I'm sure everybody that's watching this probably already owns this film, but I want to show to people that don't own it. And then this is the front. There's the back. And this is really awesome. It's almost like Criterion quality special features and stuff. You have this disc, which is the film. This disc was special features, as disc 2 supplements, so it's exactly like how Criterion does, and then it has the DVD below this. And this DVD is really cool the way it's designed, because it's designed as if it's just a bootleg burnt copy. And I really love that. It's just a great set for an amazing film. And I can don't say anything in the chat, but I'm in the middle of reading Gone Girl, and I can't wait for David Fincher's Gone Girl to come out too. I know he's changing the ending a little bit for the film, but I have not finished the book, and I want to finish the book, so don't spoil it for me. But I'm just looking forward to it. So like I said, I think David Fincher may be my next series, director series after my Stanley Kubrick. So, that's probably not going to be until 3 months down the road, but, 2 or 3 months, but still, it'll just be awesome. And this film is brilliant. That'd be sweet if they would do the other 2 films, or do the other 2 books, if Fincher would do it, but I don't think they're going to do it. I know that, Rooney Mara's up for it, but I think because this film didn't make as much as they hoped, and David Fincher's not all that crazy about doing sequels to his films. I don't know. I don't know if leave in the comments or in the chat if you know more about that than I do. But I don't think they're making sequels to this, which is okay because this story is a good standalone story. So either way, it's a brilliant David Fincher film. So yeah. I'm not drinking coffee, I'm drinking water. All right. Let's see. The next thing I wanted to mention was how awesome is it that Halloween, the complete collection, is being released by Anchor Bay and Scream Factory. I mean, it's just epic. It's epic. And so I wanted to, for those of you who did not know what it includes, I am on comingsoon.net, and I am going to read this little article that was written. The source is, of course, Anchor Bay and Scream Factory, and it's going to be hitting shelves on September 23rd. It's going to be Halloween, the complete collection. Let's see. Through the unprecedented collaboration of rival home entertainment companies Anchor Bay and Scream Factory, the leading purveyors in horror home entertainment, Halloween, the complete collection Blu-ray box set arrives September 23rd. For the legions of Halloween fans, the deluxe edition boasts 15 discs and contains all the Halloween feature films: Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection, Rob Zombie's Halloween, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. The set also includes never-before-released producer's cuts of Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, as well as the ultra-rare network TV version of the original Halloween. The network TV version of Halloween 2, plus the unrated versions of Rob Zombie's Halloween films, is packed with hours of brand new bonus features, including new interviews with cast and the crew from the entire franchise. Now, I remember signing a petition that I think Film Fan Pete and a couple other people put online for the Halloween Curse of Michael Myers producer's cut. And I'm so stoked that they're actually going to be releasing that. I do own the ultra-rare network TV versions of the original Halloween. Or should I say, actually, I own the extended version, which takes the network TV footage and adds it into the original film. And I already own the Scream Factory Halloween 2, which has the TV version on it. But the fact is that they're going to be all in one set. Let's see what else. In response of years of fan feedback, the first Halloween will now also include the original mono audio track, and the set will include both versions of the original Halloween, the original Blu-ray release and the recently remastered 35th anniversary version with the mono track added back in. It also comes with a limited edition 40-page book written by Michael Gingold of Fangoria magazine. The collectible packaging will include a newly commissioned illustration on the outer case, and each film will be in its own Blu-ray case with the original theatrical one-sheet as the key art. This deluxe set carries an SRP of $169.99. This compilation is the ultimate collector's item for fans of Halloween films and a testament to all the wonderful talents who have worked on them. That was a comment by the president of Trancas International Films and son of series producer Mustafa Akkad. The 10-disc edition will include the original theatrical versions of Halloween films and will include bonus features for $125 or $129. So that's just huge news that they're all going to be available in one set. One set. That's huge. I own all the Halloween films. I don't own the producer's cut of, Curse of Michael Myers. Now, Halloween is my favorite horror franchise, um, but not all the sequels are great. They're not great sequels. I love Halloween 1 and 2, and I like Halloween H2O, and I love Halloween Resurrection. Just kidding. I did not like Halloween Resurrection, but it's just really cool that we'll be able to get all that. It'll have Halloween, a film that I did not like the first time I saw it. Um, I liked the second time I saw it a little bit more because I just have to think of it as more of a reimagining of the original film. The original film is my number 9 favorite film of all time. So nothing's ever going to beat that for me. But I still think that Rob Zombie was the guy to probably do Halloween the way he did it. I mean, he did it his way. A lot of people hate Halloween 2. I like Halloween 2 in some ways better than Halloween, the first Halloween that Rob Zombie did, because of the surrealism in the film and some of the dream stuff. I really like that about it. Now, I don't think I'm going to watch those films a lot ever again because I've watched them a few times. But I don't think they're as bad as what everybody says. But then again, I'm really optimistic and really, I just look at films in such a positive way unless I really hate it. I always give films the benefit of the doubt. It's very rare that I absolutely hate a film. And, people that know me can say that are close to me, they can completely agree with that. I mean, it's very uncommon that I say I hate a film or I just really cannot stand a film. So since we kind of ended this on talking about a little bit of surrealism type elements, I figured I'd go ahead and share some of my favorite some of my favorite movies that contain heavy elements of surrealism. This isn't all the ones that I have. I have probably about 30 films, but I'm showing you 5 of my favorite ones that I like to watch pretty much on a regular basis. I watch all 5 of these films probably once every 6 months. One of these I watch at least once a month. That's because it's short. And so these are not in any particular order at all, but I just want to kind of branch you guys out. If you're not into surrealist type films or even surrealist art, I highly recommend you do it because it's awesome, and it's just a mind screw pretty much. But sorry, I was clicking something on my computer. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the first one. It's by Luis Buñuel, who is one of my favorite surrealist filmmakers, and he has just done some amazing work. But this is the film that he did with Salvador Dali, and I guess it's pronounced Un Chien Andalou. I just butchered that. It was made in 1929. It's black and white, 17 minutes long. Basically, this film is really famous for showing the eye being cut by a razor blade, and basically, it's just a series of dreams, and it's some really crazy stuff. And let me see. I mean, it's just some surreal imagery, and it's just amazing. But basically, this is something that everybody that is in the film should see. On the back, Roger Ebert has a quote that says, "Anyone halfway interested in cinema sees it sooner or later, usually several times." I watch this movie at least once every couple months. There's some disturbing aspects of it. Most of it doesn't make sense, but it lets your mind exercise. It's really inspiring. If I'm really in one of those moods where I really want to be creative, this is one of those things I'll pop in. It'll get my mind going into directions I did not think it was going to go. In terms of creativity or writing, if I'm writing something that contains a lot of surrealism elements and stuff like that. So yeah, I highly recommend it. The next film is definitely actually the next two films are like prized films in my collection, mainly because both of them are out of print. But one of them is really out of print because it's the Blu-ray, and it is Lane Renace, or Renault. I forgot how to pronounce that name, but it's Last Year at Marienbad. Maybe if I lean it like that, you'll be able to see it's a white cover. And basically, this film, it's French, in 1961, 94 minutes, black and white. And basically, it's a film about a man who sees a woman at a getaway. It's basically a chateau somewhere, and they it's basically the man sees a woman that he had somebody asked in the comments or in the questions, would a Serbian film be considered a surrealist film? I would definitely. I would consider it at least a film with surrealism elements, because yeah, maybe. I don't know if the director of the film, because I only saw it once, but I don't know if the director of the film, because I saw the uncut, the actual cut, not the one that they always, you could buy here, but I saw an actual cut of the film, like most of you guys have that are actually fans of cinema, and I do think, yeah, I definitely. I'm not a master on surrealism, but I would definitely say that the film is heavily, surrealist in a lot of ways. But basically, you would have to kind of take it back to, is it like what surrealism, what it is, and let me look up an official definition, because some of you might not be, let's see, surrealism, a cultural movement, blah 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 blah. Basically, surrealists, the works feature elements of surprise, unexpected juxtapositions, and non sequitur. A lot of non-linear type stuff that really doesn't make sense. It's really however your mind interprets it, and very dreamlike. Serbian film definitely has some aspects of that. It's like Blue Velvet, David Lynch film. You wouldn't actually say it's a surrealist film, but it definitely has elements of surrealism. A lot of Terrence Malick films, I would say, has heavy elements of surrealism, especially Tree of Life, which was my favorite film the year that came out. Brilliant, brilliant film. Definitely a surrealism film with heavy elements. And so I'll be honest with you. I've even heard people say, Scrubs is one of my favorite TV shows, like comedy-wise, and they consider, Scrubs even has surrealist elements because of the lead character's little dreams that he has, and so yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. I'm pretty sure it's, if it's not considered one, it at least has heavy surrealist elements. Sorry, I keep saying like surrealist or surrealism. I might be saying it the wrong way. I'm exhausted, so that's why. But anyways, Last Year at Marienbad is actually an out-of-print Criterion Blu-ray that I have, and it's like about a guy who sees this woman at a chateau, and he swears they met the year before, and they were coming back this year to meet, and they were going to run off together, basically. And she doesn't really remember him, and so he's like trying to convince her, we met last year. And it sounds kind of simple in terms of plot, but since it's just like a really crazy surrealist film, you don't really know what's going on. there's a lot of repeated scenes. There's a lot of different perspectives on scenes. Change of color of the tux and dresses that the women are wearing, and just sometimes scenes flow together. Scenes that the continuity's kind of messed up. It's all over the place, and you don't really know, is the guy telling the truth, or was he an abuser of her at one point? I mean, it's such a crazy, awesome movie. A lot of people do not like it. Like, if you look on Amazon or you look on the reviews, it is very polarizing, which most surrealist type films are. But I mean, it's still an awesome film, and anybody should check it out just for that. And yeah, I think this goes for like $100 now on Amazon because it's out of print. The next film is, speaking of Luis Buñuel a few minutes ago, Discreet Charm of the Bourgeoisie. This is also an out-of-print Criterion, and this film is hilarious. And it's, you know, another one of those surrealist films, and it's also a satire. And basically, you know, there's a group of people, and you don't really know how they get to these certain places. They come together to eat, but for some reason they never ever are able to eat, and you don't know why. Stuff keeps happening, and next thing you know, they show up at another place to eat, and it kind of gets crazier and crazier as it goes. And it's a comedy. It's a satire of, you know, upper class stuff. And I mean, for instance, like they randomly show up because of surrealism. You don't really know how they get to certain places. They randomly show up to a place and they sit down, and there's nobody in the restaurant. And you know, they're finally getting ready to start ordering their food, and all of a sudden they're like, "What the heck is going on? There's nobody here." And there's a funeral going on in the room next to them. It's crazy. And they're like, "What? We gotta go." And so they leave, and then the next thing you know, they're having dinner in a restaurant. Next thing you know, it's a stage, like for a play. I mean, it is. And the thing is, the movie is so enjoyable. Out of all films that deal with these kind of themes and, you know, the way they're made, this one I think is very accessible because of the fact that it's funny. It's not, doesn't take itself too seriously. It is hilarious to watch because it's just like, what can happen next? And yeah, it's a really, really fun film. I highly recommend it. You know, I hope that if you can't get your hands on it online, if you want to buy it, I know here in the United States, this is in a lot of different library systems around the United States. I've been to multiple states, different libraries, and this is definitely one of the films that are there because they are pretty good with getting Criterion. So the next film is Eraserhead, and I'm a huge David Lynch fan, as you know if you watched my series premiere this week of Top 5. I did Top 5 David Lynch, and this film was on it. And this film is brilliant. Basically, you have this guy right here who has a girlfriend, and next thing you know, you find out that she's having a baby. That baby's kind of like a mutant, like crazy thing, and it's just all this other crazy surrealist stuff going on at the same time. Very dreamlike. You don't really know what's going on some of the time. And David Lynch, to this day, refuses to even talk about this film because he wants all the viewers to have their own interpretation of the events in the film. He doesn't talk about it. It's not that he doesn't like it. Believe me, it took him like 7 years to make the film. But he does not want to give any answers regarding this film because he wants it to live forever and everybody come up with their own interpretations. And it's awesome. I think that's just an awesome thing. The last film is probably one of the more recent kind of, you know, surrealist films, and it is David Lynch's Inland Empire. And basically it's a drama thriller because of the surrealist elements. There's some really disturbing imagery in the film. Not like, I don't know, it's just the way things are filmed and the emotions. It's very raw emotions. Basically, you have Laura Dern's character, who was an actress, and she's trying out for a film, and she's making a film, and she's really getting into this role. She's really getting into it. Next thing you know, she doesn't know it's reality or what's not, what's the film and what's her life, and it kind of starts melding together, and the plot kind of goes all, non-linear type stuff to where it was just a brilliant film. It's 3 hours. It is an epic film in terms of length, and that might completely turn people off because it is hard to get into. But I promise you, it is worth it. I definitely think this is one of the David Lynch's more underrated films because you did not hear a lot of people talk about this when it came out. And I just highly, highly recommend it. It's hard to believe that I really wish David Lynch would start making more films. I know he does a lot of stuff on the side, and filmmaking isn't his #1 passion. But I just like, I watch Family Guy, and I watch even the Cleveland Show. I like, and he does a freaking character that's basically himself on the Cleveland Show, and I'm like, you have time to be on the Cleveland Show, but you don't have time to make make another film, and it just makes me laugh. I'm a huge David Lynch fan, and so yeah, I highly, highly, highly recommend this film. Really, really, only in a David Lynch film, there's some things that happen in this film that you're just like, what? Randomly at the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where it's like a sitcom of rabbits, and they're walking around, and you don't really know what they're saying, or what they mean by what they're saying, and then you hear the audience laugh, like a TV show sitcom laugh, and you're like, what the heck is this even about? What is this? What is going on? So there's a lot of different things in this film other than the actual plot, and either way, it's a fun film to watch. He films it with a digital camera. It wasn't an HD. I don't think it's an HD camera, but it was a digital camera, so it looks different than a lot of films. So, yeah. But yeah, I think. Let me see. Let me check. Finished up a little bit earlier than I thought I was going to finish up. So let me look. Oh, the last thing I was going to talk about in terms of this. I've really, 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 really been looking forward to seeing, whenever it comes out, seeing Ryan Gosling's film that he directed, Lost River. And I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, and it has Matt Smith in it. And plus, Ryan Gosling's awesome in regards to film. And I'm really excited about seeing his debut film, which did not premiere very well at Cannes, which doesn't mean anything, because a lot of films that contain surrealist type elements, or even Only God Forgives is a film that I just loved. A lot of people hated it. I loved it. It's just normal for a film to get booed and cheered at Cannes. It's just how it's done there. But I wanted to finish off today by reading this article that I read. And it's basically, Nicholas Winding Refn is basically Ryan Gosling's inspiration for becoming, making this film. Not officially, but the film's David Lynch, and but Nicholas Winding Refn comes to defense of Ryan Gosling's movie. And this is an article written by Jada Yan from Vulture.com, and I wanted to read it. We already know that critics don't look too fondly upon Ryan Gosling's writing and directorial debut, Lost River, which premiered last week at Cannes. But there is one person who, unsurprisingly, immediately springs his defense. At Saturday night's Cannes dinner, I approached Nicholas Winding Refn, a jury member this year, Gosling's director on Drive, and the booed Cannes' Only God Forgives film, and Gosling's Best Bro for Life, about all those bad reviews. And Nicholas Winding Refn says, "Ah, my twin," he said as soon as I brought up Gosling's name. "I think it's beautiful, beautiful, great movie that will grow on people. There are images from it that will stick with me." Specifically, he said that he was very moved by the relationship between the single mother, played by Christina Hendricks, and her littlest boy, as well as anything Ben Mendelsohn did, particularly an incredible odd dance sequence he does late in the movie that provides a rare spot of comic relief. Nicholas says, "I could watch him read a phone book," said Refn. You know, no regular person who sees Gosling's movie is going to actively notice how blatantly he wears his influences on his sleeves. And I'm not gonna, like, read everything about the rest, but there's a lot of things. If you've seen the clip of the film, it looks very like this article says, it's like a Warriors-like post-apocalyptic vibe. That's like kind of like a cult midnight movie feel, and it looks very weird in a way of the fact that I'm all in, and I cannot wait to see it. I love it when films get booed at Cannes for this reason, because that means I'm just gonna love it even more. Tree of Life was booed at Cannes and ended up winning the Palme d'Or. So yeah, I highly look forward to seeing this film, and yeah, so I highly recommend it. Oh, cool. Yeah, Zarin Isaac said, yep, Inland Empire was shot in SDDV. So yeah, but it looks cool. It looks different, and it kind of adds to the creepiness of the film. And of course, it stars everybody who's usually in a David Lynch type movie. You know, people from Twin Peaks and Seinfeld, because a lot of people, like George's fiance Susan's parents were in Twin Peaks. So, but yeah, I'm getting really, really tired, and so I'm off the next day on Tuesday. So that means that it'll be later, and I want to have a big group hangout on here. So I'll be able to get some of the guys together, and we can just have a fun chat, Godzilla movie questions. We'll open up about our passion for film even more, and it's just going to be a round table of questions. So as always, make sure you check out geeky.com. Make sure you check out the gift shop. If you feel free to donate if you would like, and if you are interested in becoming part of the Geeky team, please check out geeky.com. You could submit stuff, contact us. It'll be awesome. We're all here for you. So remember, there's 3 ways of doing things: the right way, the wrong way, and the chat away. See ya.